Welcome back to Tabletop Goodness! Well, first of all, thanks for all the comments and good discussions on my Dice Throne Digital video. A lot of you have expressed concerns about the pledge levels, the pricing and the campaign in general, and some of you pointed out that Dice Throne just updated the Kickstarter offering, which is why I'm revisiting Dice Throne Digital today, so thank you so much for that. I'll not dive into the Kickstarter content too much though in this video. If you want to see that, please head over to the original video, but want to focus on the updated pledge levels and what this means for current and prospective backers. Well, one thing to remember is that nothing really changed with the monetization model, meaning this will still be a free-to-play game, and if you want to do exactly that, you will be able to do so once the game releases early next year. In terms of tiers though, they did actually add two. There's the release tier 1 for $20, which will let you choose between a set of 4 heroes in the Pledge Manager that you'll get unlocked at release. Fiery Brawn will give you access to the Barbarian, Moon Elf, Pyromancer and Shadow Thief, while Strength and Spirit will give you access to the Monk, Paladin, Treant and Ninja. And if you pledge for the Release 2 tier at $30, you will get access to all 8 heroes at the launch of the game. But, is that actually the fantastic value that Nate Chatelier, game director of Dice Throne Digital and CEO of Nerd Ninjas, is talking about? Well, a new FAQ entry popped up that mentioned the cost of paying to unlock a hero in the finished game will be around $9.99. So this means that if there are no discounts on, you'll receive roughly between 50 and 60% off. If you don't want to grind for the characters that is, because, free is a really tough proposition to beat, and according to the FAQ, they're still figuring out the details of how to do that best, and I guess that's where alpha and beta versions will come into play. The only downside, I guess, with those 2 tiers is that you'll have to wait until the game releases next year, but this is usually how Kickstarters work, so welcome to the world of crowdfunding. The potential upside is that Dice Throne might have more capital available for new game modes and more of, everything in general, I guess. One of those modes that Nate mentioned is a ranked PvP mode called Thronebound, which climbed up the priority ladder and that they added as one of the next funding quests. He mentioned exploring possibilities for the highly requested offline mode as well, which I would really love to see happening, but as of this video, online only is where we're at. But it shows that they're paying attention to what the community says, which, to be fair, is more than a lot of other creators are actually doing. Next to introducing those 2 new pledge levels, they also dropped the prices for the higher tiers by $10 each, which means that Gold will sit at $50, Diamond at $70, and Ultimanium at $110. In his recent video, Nate did mention that those tiers were more meant to be like, backstage passes with early access and a bigger say in the overall design of the game, and yeah, I get it, that makes sense, but for the part of the community that was mostly looking for, good value or entry-level prices, having just those tiers was just not good enough. And it did attempt to change that. I guess the question that you have to ask yourself is whether you want to support the game during the campaign, which could allow them to do a lot more of, everything really, or whether you will make use of the free-to-play game as is and work on unlocking heroes. And honestly, that's something that's very individual and that depends mostly on how you want to approach playing Dice Throne Digital. That said, regardless of whether or not or how much you back today, I hope you get some matches in once the game arrives, and maybe I even get the chance to play against some of you in the future. And with that, see you again next time on Tabletop Goodness.